This is Popping the Bubble with hosts Sandra Ponce de Leon and Pete A. Turner.
My name is Ali Ayash, and I'm the founder and CEO of Lumeos. And this is Popping the Bubble.
Yeah. Hey, Ali. So great to have you here. We are here at Starfish Mission, which is a collaborative workspace for blockchain companies. And there's a lot of awesome events that happen here all the time. It's a great, open, airy, lovely place to work. So we are thankful to Starfish for having us today and for the ability to meet these awesome founders. So Ali, you are building a token that is about protecting your own data or being able to monetize your own data, right?
Yeah. We're focused specifically on data ownership and data privacy,
ownership. Right?
In the era of blockchain. And the idea is the current model of data sharing is that users will provide their information to websites that will own their data. For instance, Google, Facebook, big monoliths like that. And with blockchain, thanks to decentralization, you can actually fully own any data that you share by backing it on the chain, by putting it under your wallet and protecting it with your own private key, the same way you protect your cryptocurrency on the blockchain. And because you're fully owning your entire data, you also can control its privacy and monetize it. And that's what the main idea behind Lumeos is.
What was the inspiration or your aha moment behind coming to this idea and starting to build it out?
I've been in blockchain for, I guess, a couple of years mostly as a developer, engineer, and looking around what people are doing, what people in the crypto space have been doing. And then I realized everybody is, again, like, evangelizing blockchain, but at the same time they want to make as much money as possible from tokens, etc. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why not be able to make those same extra money, passive income from doing the stuff that you already are doing online rather than going out of your comfort zone? For instance, sharing your data on Facebook. And it kind of hit me like, let's combine blockchain with data sharing, and we'll actually be able to create something that users can fully own, like any data that they share. And then I guess the other thing that came in was probably like the Cambridge Analytica problem early this year where user privacy started going onto the surface. And we realized, now that you fully own your data, you can, again, fully protect it with your own privacy controls as long as your data as long as you own the private key that is protecting your own data. You can give it to whoever you want. You can duplicate it. You can have multiple different keys for different access to your data on a public blockchain.
Wow. So do you imagine that this will take some form of a social network where you can determine what is sold versus what is not? Are you going to go head to head with Facebook here?
Yeah. So not really. We want you to still use Facebook.
Okay.
But if you want, you can give us access to some of your data that you have on Facebook, and we'll monetize it for you because we'll be able to sell things to DMPs or advertisers who like to get this behavioral data that you already have or already producing on Facebook. But at the same time, we want to prove to the user that their data is valuable, and that's why we're building our mobile application that we already have like few hundred users onboarded on right now, and are making Lumeos tokens for sharing basic information about them while answering very simple user research questions.
Oh, okay. Very, very cool. So people can sign up right now?
Yeah. We have our beta on Lumeos website. And the idea is like you just sign up on email list, and then we'll send you a beta invite. But our goal is to go on the App Store within the next few weeks so that like anybody will be able to download our app and participate in our network.
So when you say earn, what are we talking about though? Like it's fractional owning of something small or?
So right now we're rewarding users with our Lumeos cryptocurrency. So we decided to create a token specifically for data sharing. We want the token to be the basis of the data sharing economy within the blockchain. And we decided to build on top of the EOS blockchain. So our token is pretty much like an EOS token called Lumeos token. And that's what we're rewarding users with. And the token currently is not on the mainnet, and it has pretty much no value. And the idea is that we're proving the utility of that token as a data exchange currency, and then we'll put it on the mainnet, on the EOS blockchain mainnet, and let the users determine like how much their data is worth.
Right. So if I give you permission to, are you spidering my data or somehow getting my data from Facebook? And does that, I guess my question is, do I have the ability to opt out of Facebook using my data and opt into Lumeos using my data so that I can, get properly compensated for it?
Yeah. So for that, I need to explain a bit of a small feature that we're currently finalizing, and it's the login with Facebook, where you link your Facebook account with Lumeos. And now Lumeos will create a blockchain identity for you. We will never have access to any of your data. Your data will live on your mobile phone, and it will be under your account. So you will be the only one who can view it. But then you can download your full behavioral data and metadata actually from Facebook and add it to our platform. And advertisers are already lining up and willing to actually buy this kind of information from either individual users or aggregated anonymized identities that we're trying to also do at the same time. And you will just use Facebook the way you want, and then just update the download in our app. You get the metadata again, and then we'll sell it again. And that's the current model. As a company, we get paid by these providers in whatever currency, whether it's fiat like US dollars or cryptocurrency, and then we'll convert that into the Lumeos cryptocurrency based on a certain exchange rate, and then we'll put it back into the system. And now the tokens will be given to the users who've provided their information for selling. And in all the cases, the user will have full control over their data. They will have full control over who accesses it, and then they can revoke control for future access the way they want, whenever they want, and whenever,
So one benefit is actually getting compensated monetarily by sharing your data. What are the other benefits to the user to enlist in this? Yeah,
so the idea is being able to share knowledge, connect to other users who have similar interests. So we're trying to make a lot of features of the application similar to a social network or social media platform. I guess the closest thing would be a Reddit, where users can get information, share information, and monetize it. Right now, the model is active data monetization, but the end goal of Lumeos is to be able to just use whatever you're using, whether it's the Lumeos app or your current social platforms like Facebook and Google, and then just make passive income out of it. And then at the end of the month, you will see, oh, this is how much you made because this is what I shared with these kind of people and these kind of advertisers.
And I would imagine that also you get more targeted advertising. You get things that actually matter and mean something to you.
Yes. Yeah, we believe that this is going to push to a higher quality content sharing, also to higher quality data sharing from the users. Now the users get targeted with useful advertisements, but at the same time they know that they actually got something out of it rather than just like being sold without like making anything out of it. And the passive data income is what we're like trying. Passive income out of you selling your data is what we're trying to target. That's why like our early demographics are focused on crypto. We're going to colleges. We're going to other countries like third world countries that they would like to have this extra money on the side in addition to their own income.
What kind of timeline are we talking about? Right now we're doing a proof of concept basically with these coins. What do you see happening? What's a conservative estimate on when these things will start to actually accrue some value for somebody?
Yeah, so actually we are very far along in our app development. Again, like I mentioned, we're in a current beta. We have built our smart contracts and we're ready to deploy them on the mainnet as soon as at the end of September of this year.
Wow.
We've already lined up a few paying customers who are willing to pay for our users' data.
Can you say who those are? People?
Yeah,
those companies are.
So since our user base is mostly crypto, it's actually pretty much 95% crypto users. We were working with mostly to run user research questions on our mobile app to target these customers. So we went to crypto companies that have raised money and have built products, and they want to get market research and user research around their products against our user base, which is majority crypto. We have 2 exchanges that launched this year who want to like verify some of their UI experience and UX experience against our user base. And they're paying us, we're getting a commission, and then we're pumping all the money back to the users who participated.
Wow.
And the idea is to start running those sponsored polls or like polls that will give the users money as early as beginning of October.
Very, very cool.
And,
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then what we've done so far, we've been like mostly bootstrapped ourselves, but we wanted to raise a small seed round so that we can get a longer runway. And we've already filled almost $500,000 out of the $1 million. So we're halfway through our seed round. We're doing convertible note, but our goal is to launch a utility token for, again, data exchange in the next month. And we may also do a private sale, I guess an ICO later this year.
Okay, very cool. And how big is the team?
So right now we have around 6 members on the team. We have one person in every silo, I guess. We have one for like technical, one design, one operations, one product, and one marketing. And then we're just going to, like, each one of us is wearing multiple hats, and then it's just trying to get the right features at the right time to move as fast as we can.
Mm-hmm. That's super, super cool. What made you guys decide to build on EOS versus on Ethereum?
Yeah, so a lot of people who are just like jumping to blockchain will just say, oh, let's just do Ethereum. It's the most widely used blockchain, and it is. The problem is, so this is my second time building a blockchain product on the blockchain. The first one was we're trying to do a home sharing platform on top of Ethereum. We realized that the user experience wasn't ideal for our users. They needed to know about blockchain. They needed to know how to send transactions via MetaMask and others. Yeah. And then what we wanted to do, and at the same time, it was slower and pretty much costly for the users who are participating. We had to pay for gas as well to make it simple for the users. But we wanted to take that a step ahead. When you say
gas, can you explain what that is?
Oh, so in Ethereum, there's a concept of that every transaction has a monetary value associated with it. You need to provide it with some Ether coin to run it.
I see.
And that even includes something as simple as I approve this. I'm booking this place, or I'm okay with paying this much. So as a user, you need to have a wallet. You need to have some crypto in it, and then approve transactions and pay for the gas for it. User interface wasn't very nice. I realized if we really wanted to have a big adoption of blockchain through an actual user-facing application, it needs to be the user needs to be able to use it without them knowing about blockchain or wallets or all of that. EOS seemed to be the right approach. So with EOS, there is no concept of a gas. As a developer of the application, you already have paid for all the costs for the bandwidth, for the CPU of your application by staking your own EOS tokens. And now the users will just use it for free. All the transactions will have no gas costs associated with them. The second thing is it scales. The number of transactions that you can do on EOS is a lot more than the number of transactions that you can do on Ethereum today. And we're talking about thousands, 100 times more than what Ethereum can support. And then the last and the most important thing is the user friendliness of the EOS blockchain. In Ethereum, if you lose your private key, you get hacked or anything like that, you're pretty much done for. Like, you can't do anything. Your money is lost, your identity is lost. With EOS, let's say you were hacked or you forgot your password, you can immediately freeze your accounts and you can actually reset your password or private key and can get access completely to your stuff. The same way you do if you forget your Gmail password or something like that. You can always reset it. So that itself makes EOS a lot more, grandma friendly, and it will allow for a big adoption in the future. And it was a bet for us to actually jump on the EOS, especially that Ethereum has been around for years. EOS has literally launched their mainnet a couple of months ago.
Right.
But the best part is it already have proven that it supports these number of transactions. There are a lot of people who were able to get their funds and it's just been having growing as fast as Ethereum did, and the number of dApps that are launching on EOS is just like keep on increasing every day.
Huh. Wow. So, and you think that? So, do you think that EOS is going to really give Ethereum a run for its money, especially when like Ethereum comes out with its proof of stake platform?
Yeah, I feel like that is where EOS is ahead of Ethereum, and like Ethereum is probably backed by, I mean, smart people again, and they're working on all the scalability features, and I'm pretty sure that at some point it will allow for faster transactions and all that. But EOS is already doing that, so I guess. I like both blockchains, so I'm not going to favor one over the other.
Yeah, except that you're building your platform one over the other.
So we're talking with Ali Ayash from Lumeos, and you can check them out on Twitter at Lumeos_IO if you're curious as to what the heck we're talking about. Because some folks, you're already 20 steps ahead of the person who's like, I'm just trying to Bitcoin. I got to get my Bitcoin. Which is fine, because that's where I started just a few months ago, so it's definitely interesting. Help me understand in general, like when it comes to data, how else might you structure this? Like if you're someone who doesn't know the blockchain very well and you're worried about your data, you're worried about Facebook and everything else and Twitter taking your things, is there some way outside of the blockchain to really protect these things without spending a bunch of money on some kind of privacy software or something?
Yeah, you can do that offline. So if you want to fully own anything you produce, you can put it on your own server and lock it and not connect it to anywhere online. If you want to do this in a distributed way, in a decentralized way, one of the only approach I can think of is blockchain. And it just felt like this application is very suitable for blockchain. And it's not the first time something like this happens. I guess BitTorrent was the first pretty much like decentralized way of sharing videos. But this is like, we took that a step ahead. So like, in a blockchain, you don't really own your Bitcoin, as you own a private key, and that is your ownership of the Bitcoin that is on the network. What we wanted to do is something similar, where if you own a encryption-based privacy key, a private key, you can encrypt the data and put it under your wallet. And now if you own that key, you own your data. At the same time, you own your cryptocurrency inside your wallet, and that's what we did. And now the best part is you can do anything. You can append any kind of data or metadata into your wallet, and then if you want to share it with anyone, you can give them access. So this is, I feel like, the first time where you can actually own what you're doing in an online world, versus just like putting it in a private server that you own.
Is anyone else doing this, what you're doing?
A few other companies in the space are targeting, data privacy, data ownership. But we're the first ones doing this like on EOS and being like the back end for data privacy on top of the EOS blockchain. But there are a few others doing it on other blockchains as well. It makes sense. Like the first thing you have to think of when it comes to like applications using your information is that you need to be able to protect it the same way, like protecting your privacy.
So when you go to Lumeos.io, there's an offer to get some free coin. Not worth anything, like you said, yet, but the idea is to do that. What's the number of, give us an idea of like the exchange rate. Like if I go on Facebook and I'm going to get a return back, am I getting back a piece of a coin, a whole coin, 20 coins? How does that work? That's the part of the marketplace, is understanding just how big the exchange rate is. So
I guess like to give you an idea, we should talk with like US dollars, and on average, the average user will make around $30 a year by just like using Facebook at this minimal rate. It's probably like a few minutes every day. But if you're a hardcore user who pretty much like put everything on Facebook, share as much as possible, and we're talking about thousands of dollars here of money that you can actually make from just doing the stuff like liking things and sharing things.
Yeah.
And
but say that again though, because that is data, and we think of like, what's my data? You think like it's your address or what your buying patterns. But
true.
It's like, I like pictures with cakes in them or whatever it is. I like Johnny Depp. Anything with Johnny Depp, I'm gonna like. So talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah. So that I want to establish like a difference between data and metadata. Data is usually something like content that you share, like either a comment or or like an article that you're posting or an image or something like that. Metadata is information about the data that you're consuming. For instance, how long have you actually looked at this advertisement while you're scrolling through your Facebook feed? Which companies you're liking on Facebook, which ads you're actually watching when we give you when you see those advertisements, which people you're following. This behavior data, where you checked in, where you traveled, where's your location. This kind of information is it's pretty much like a gold mine for advertisers, because now they understand your behavior, then they can target you better with better advertisements. And like everybody gets paid whenever you click on the ad, and the idea is that the more we know about you, the more we can target you with advertisements so that you can actually end up clicking on them. Mm-hmm. And that metadata you can actually download from Facebook. Now, actually this year, if you kind of like give us this data, and I mean, not to us personally, because we don't want to have access to it. Again, if you take control over it through our platform, we can monetize it for you. Mm. And that's what we're trying to do. And that feature itself is in the build. We're hoping to launch it before the end of this year as a very first thing to show users that their metadata of their online activity on Facebook only is very valuable.
This is one of the big concepts that I've picked up along the way, is that there's so many different ways to exchange for value. My location, my liking habits, my whatever the things are, there's so many things that I do that create value for someone else, and you're finding a way to circle that loop back. Yeah, you're still going to get access to my data, but you're going to give me something in return for it. That's pretty cool. Can you go back now to answer a bit of that exchange rate question that I interrupted you on?
Yeah. So I mean, exchange rate now that we're using this Lumeos token for as a currency for data sharing, right now it has no value in a sense, but the more people who are using it, they will start probably pretty much exchanging it in exchange for other cryptocurrency or dollar amounts, and they will probably put a value on it based on the usage, based on how much money they're making. I can't tell exact numbers, and it's going to depend on how many users are actually using it. What we're also doing is, for users who don't understand about exchanges, or they don't want to deal with going to an exchange to exchange cryptocurrency to fiat to $2. What we're planning to offer is a gift card mechanism, especially for students when we start onboarding our students onto the platform, where they can exchange Lumeos tokens to Amazon gift cards or Best Buy gift cards based on the rate that we think that the token is currently trading on. So that you don't have to worry about going, setting up an exchange account and all that.
And how are you guys going to make money?
So we are making money by being it's pretty much by making your data valuable for the advertisers, the data brokers, the user and market research people. As a company, anytime somebody decides to pay for our users' data, we'll take commission out of the pay, and we give the remaining parts back to the users.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So talk a little bit about your entree or foray into blockchain. What got you into this world?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I was pretty much looking about investments. I was a software engineer at Google at that time.
Okay.
And I was mostly oh, maybe I should start investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it was actually a good time.
I bet.
Prices were so much lower. And I guess investment, and then my interest in decentralized ledger it started growing, and blockchain itself. Most of my experience is in software engineering and for distributed systems. I built a lot of distributed system worldwide at Amazon and Google. And I realized blockchain is not that different from that. And then I went to a small workshop. I built a smart contract, deployed it, interacted with it, and was like, oh, this is pretty cool. You can actually do big things with it. And then my friend reached out to me and was like, hey, maybe you should quit Google and let's work on this new thing called B-Token. And I actually did. And we've built a home sharing platform on Ethereum, and we have a few thousands of users today there. And then afterwards, I wanted, continue learning about blockchain, continue expanding my knowledge, and that's when the idea of Lumeos hit me, and that's why I left btoken, started working on Lumeos full time, and we're here now.
Yeah, very, very exciting. So you guys are going to be launching this year. And yeah, let's talk about, so at launch, what's your strategy for launching, and where do you see the future of Lumeos?
Yeah, so now our first product is the mobile app that we have.
Okay.
We're planning to
for iOS and Android.
For iOS and Android,
Okay.
We have the app pretty much stable now. It's been in the hands of our beta testers since August 1st, so it's been exactly 1 month now. We've implemented most of the important features that we've been asked for, and yeah, now we're just in the process of getting it on the App Store. So hopefully we'll get it done. You know how Apple delays a lot, but we should be there in mid September.
Yeah.
And then later on, it's just like putting the Lumeos token on the mainnet and letting the users actually play with it and backing their data on the blockchain. And then all through Q4, it's going to be all about growth, adding more users, and making their data more valuable by through our business development efforts of onboarding more and more paying clients. For this data. And that's how Q4 is going to be looking for us.
Very, very exciting.
Yeah, interesting. So I wanted to ask you too, what you're saying is once the app is available, I go and I download it on my phone, and I connect into my Facebook account, my Twitter account, whatever it is. And then a lot of my work is done at that point. Like, I just need to now go do my normal social media stuff that I do.
Well, you need to authorize the app to download your to download your content and put it on the phone and on the back it by the blockchain.
Okay.
That feature is not there yet. Currently, what you would be able to do is answer the user research and market research questions that our paying customers are giving us on the platform.
Got you.
That full integration with Facebook feature is coming end of the year. It's more complicated than we expected. So.
Yeah. So
I'm sure
life.
Facebook doesn't make it easy.
Actually, recently it made it easier to get your data, mainly because of the Cambridge Analytica hack, but also because of GDPR.
Right.
So the companies have they need to empower the users to be able to have full control over their data, be able to fully wipe it and fully download it. So that's why we have access to that now.
Right. It seems like your timing is great with regards to the GDPR, which is in Europe now. You have to have actually consent for people to for you to market and use behavioral data to market to people online.
Yes. And the best part is we will never own any of the user's information. So in a sense, Lumeos itself will always be GDPR compliant, and the users will have full control over their data and privacy. So that's also GDPR compliant. Actually, this takes it to one extra step, because in order for companies who own other users' data to be GDPR compliant, they need to follow these compliance things that the EU has put into place. But now the users in our model fully control their information. So it's pretty much like a step ahead of what GDPR is trying to do.
Yeah, it seems like you really are going to have to change people's mind frames quite a bit, right? And do some education, because we don't necessarily know that our data is transacted or that it's valuable. What are your thoughts around that? How you're going to get to market?
We've been doing a lot of content from our side explaining specifically how data is like digital oil,
right?
And you can actually, it's like you can monetize it, you can make money out of it. And we've been trying to, going out, educating users about it is one way, but we're also targeting the college community as well through our application by getting the college demographic into two things: getting them to understand about what blockchain is, but at the same time getting them to understand how their own data is important, and educating more about privacy. So that's why we launched a ambassador program. So for colleges, where we have a few students in every college that are just explaining these things and getting more and more people interested in both blockchain and data privacy and ownership.
Yeah, well, it's going to be awesome to start to make a passive income off of all the things that we're doing anyhow.
Yeah, thank you, by the way. Because I'm on social media nonstop, because we have a podcast, and you're constantly actively doing things, and I'm joining groups, and it's crazy. So for work, pleasure, sure, great. I'll take some money, And
that's the idea. I'm also a heavy user of social media, and it makes sense. Might as well just make something out of it on the side.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm detecting a bit of an accent. Where are you from?
I was born in Lebanon.
Okay. And how long have you been out here?
I've been in the U.S. for the last almost 10 years now. I've been mostly between states.
Yeah. Did you ever imagine when you moved out here that you would be founding your own company and, in the blockchain revolution?
No. It's just things moved in a weird way. I graduated with an electrical engineering degree, and then I started working in software engineering, and now
how did you get to Silicon Valley?
Blockchain. So when I graduated college, my first job out of college was at Amazon, and there we build a lot of big, highly scalable distributed systems for Amazon. I have pieces of code that get touched every single time any person on Earth orders something from Amazon, which is something I'm proud of. And then later on, that was in Seattle, and then I wanted to move to Silicon Valley, and I got a job at Google, and I've been here since.
Yeah.
It's been like a few years now.
Seems like you've made all the right choices.
No kidding.
Well, Ali, it's been a super fascinating conversation. Love what Lumeos is doing. I've already signed up for the beta and start monetizing all my behavioral data. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.